So today, I woke up feeling the insatiable need to risk it all and make some K-pop stans angry. So I made this video. Welcome to the show with brutal vocal rankings and even more brutal comments. But don't worry, to quote an icon. Oh yes, precisely. Well, this has been a highly requested video and I knew that in order to make it, I had to graduate university first, before I'll serve you the spice. There are a couple things we need to establish. This ranking is based on vocal technique, not my personal preferences. Of course, since this is my video, this is also my analysis, my thoughts, my observations, and my perspective of what constitutes good singing. This video is not gospel, but there is a reason behind how I've placed each vocalist, and I have done so with care and respect. The ranking is not rooted in the somewhat popular vocal tiers that have been going around online. I don't use them, I don't care about them. In short, I think that they're misleading and often extremely superficial. What's more, I focus on live vocals only, and I also try to avoid highly edited, overproduced vocals as well. Oh, and the clips that you're gonna see in the video are not the only clips I've watched to evaluate each idol, just so you know. All of the idols in the video are super young, especially the BABYMONSTER girls, so this ranking could absolutely change over time as they continue to grow as vocalists. It is not a definite ranking for sure. I have also decided not to include Ruka and aespa in this video. Both ladies are rappers first and foremost, and they would inevitably be last in the ranking. I hope it's okay. Wow, I think that's all. Now let's get into it. With these three groups, you know the bar is set pretty high and someone had to be last. There seems to be a certain part of the aespa fandom that tries to convince everyone else that Giselle is a better vocalist than she seemingly is. I say seemingly because there is the fact that Giselle is quite heavily underutilized as a vocalist by SM, so I don't even feel that I have much to work with. Giselle is a competent vocalist to an extent.
I'm not a neck girl, more like a hit girl, mouth ties, going back to the old world, fear in their eyes. Hold tight, get tough, real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Drama mama, drama mama, drama mama, drama mama.
오, 좋아요.
However, skill-wise, she is clearly not as strong as the rest of aespa. Her pitch accuracy can get shaky. The overall projection of her voice is weaker, with signs of tension.
See a different POV. Give it back on my faith in a catastrophe. I know this world's a battlefield. I will be a shield. We got something we work constructing the peace. We construct the peace. 데자부 같이 그려지는 이미지. 날 굳이 막
살짝 밴드로 할까 그냥?
그려지는
I think the potential that Giselle has is absolutely promising, but I cannot give her credit for things I think she could do with her voice. With what she's been able to show vocally so far, I don't feel comfortable putting her any higher, even though she is a fucking star in my eyes. Similarly, I'm pretty sure that there are fans who would put Chiquita much higher than this. But realistically, I don't think it makes sense to set her up like that. There's literally no reason to. Firstly, Chiquita does not struggle with intonation, as she's able to consistently perform without major pitch issues. The voice doesn't carry the biggest volume output or projection, but the tonal quality is even and consistent. A nice addition to Chiquita's skill set is a fairly relaxed upper register, also the ability to execute simple melisma. Her phrasing is quite smooth. She also can use vibrato, although it is not fully controlled. Because of a non-optimal support and vocal folds closure, plus a lack of well-developed chest voice, Chiquita has issues with bringing power to her delivery. For example, her attempts at belting have been mostly a miss from a technical standpoint. The voice picks up tension quite easily. Nasality is an issue as well. Lower register remains rather unexplored so far. It is not to say that Chiquita doesn't do some things well, but that idols above her either can do more vocally or can do those same things better. But at such young age, she is someone to look out for. As you may know, I've talked about ahyeon on this channel many times already, and since I prioritize healthy vocal technique over a countless number of heavily strained high belts, she couldn't possibly rank higher. ahyeon's mixed register is plagued by issues like sky-high larynx position, heavy mix, over-pushing. Well, considering the difficulty level of her parts, those issues are not that shocking, in theory, to me at least. What is far more concerning is that ahyeon doesn't seem to have some of the more basic fundamental aspects of good singing down. Her intonation is generally unreliable, the placement is inconsistent, phrasing tends to be choppy. ahyeon doesn't glide over the notes, she attacks them in a harsh, forceful way.
Just who I was born to be. And I'm finally able to breathe.
There is a lack of good dynamics control. Her vibrato is completely uncontrolled. Overall, the plethora of technical shortcomings give ahyeon's skillset a somewhat disjointed feel. Nonetheless, as you can tell, she is not lost in the ranking because although ahyeon as of now isn't a refined vocalist per se, I do acknowledge that in order to even attempt the kind of things she's been doing with her voice, there is skill required, even if it's not very well polished yet. She's also starting to occasionally lighten her approach, which is a positive step for her. What is not a step in the right direction is belting up to C sharp 6.
Now watch me do it all again.
No one needs that. ahyeon is a vocalist of pretty spectacular potential, but someone should come in and help her figure things out from a technical standpoint and allow this young talented girl to blossom as a vocalist. Pharita's vocal style is quite neat and tidy. She doesn't push her voice to its extremes, prioritizing a more relaxed, effortless delivery. Right away, it is clear that Pharita's pitch accuracy is solid, the tonal quality is consistent as well.
I'm better than that. I'm living my life, so I go to heaven and never come back. But look where I'm at. Look where I'm at.
The lower register remains rather airy, not very well projected, but she also doesn't overpush her voice in this area. The upper register is fairly relaxed and rather easily accessible, although not particularly well developed. In BABYMONSTER, however, Pharita plays the role as one of the group's main belters. Her bright, nasal voice is naturally highly toned, so Pharita can stay in her mixed register with relative ease.
I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. Decided to follow my heart. I don't care what they say. Don't
This This, however, is more a result of the natural qualities of her voice and the nasal placement rather than intentional technique. Pharita's belting technique itself isn't refined yet, as high larynx position, tongue tension, jaw tension are some of the issues she's been consistently dealing with so far. Pharita still hasn't displayed much dynamics control or much use of vibrato or any at all, which would definitely be helpful. In general, I would love Pharita to continue exploring other parts of her voice and work on the strengths she already has. She's only turning 20 this year, so she has the time. Jiwoo, who is the least vocally utilized member of NMIXX, proves that main rappers can also contribute as vocalists. Jiwoo naturally sings with a rather forward placement. She maintains a pretty firm folds closure, which results in a consistent, robust tonal quality and adequate projection. This is reflected in both her mixed register and lower register.
지금부터 좌표를 좀 다르게 찍어볼 준비됐어 done.
The upper register, although not without potential, is mostly underutilized. Because of the way she seems to focus on projecting her voice first, dynamics control can be an issue for Jiwoo. Another problem is the lack of vibrato. She's also the member who's most likely to waver in terms of pitch. In general, Jiwoo lacks versatility as a vocalist a bit. Who knows, if she was encouraged to use her voice more and in different ways, maybe Jiwoo could turn out to be a more well-rounded vocalist than it seems now. Well, that doesn't seem unlikely. Yes, I am putting Bae over Jiwoo because although belting-wise, Jiwoo may be stronger, I consider Bae to be the one who's more well-rounded and has shown a more expensive, wider vocal skill set so far. The ability to switch easily between registers is a sign of a nicely coordinated voice and the absence of excessive tension or pushing. Bae's good pitch accuracy, along with the best dynamics control so far, are both highlighted by her ability to harmonize well. She wouldn't be able to blend her voice effectively without these two important elements. Bae's voice picks up tension quite easily and lacks fullness in her mixed register. But over time, she's starting to learn how to improve her placement. So that's an area she's still working on. The lower register happens to be a quite often used area where Bae performs rather comfortably. Bae can retain a good amount of tone in the lower range, however she can also tend to force her larynx quite a bit, especially when she's getting closer to the extremes of her range. As a vocalist, Bae already has quite a bit to offer, even despite being one of the weaker links of NMIXX, although even saying that feels like a disservice to what she can do. Nonetheless, a better controlled vibrato, fuller mixed register, perhaps practicing vocal agility more would help Bae become a stronger vocalist. On top of a good intonation, Karina also presents some solid dynamics control. In result, her delivery can be stylistically quite intricate, precise, and detailed, which is an aespa staple, I would say.
First, rip up and list this dirty word. Rip up and list this dirty word. Rip up and list this dirty word.
Vocally, one of Karina's highlights is for sure her lower register, the strongest lower register on this list so far. She descends into her lower range comfortably.
World domination, I don't gotta say it. 전엔 없던 도리 언변이 같아 저주야.
이런 식으로 요거에서 쏙 조금만 쓸.
Situation critical is heavy. Million blocks of obstacles you help me. 널 원망하던 수많은 밤이 내겐 지옥 같아.
The notes don't come out too forced or pushed. Another nice addition to her skill set is the use of vibrato. Though not super developed yet, Karina already displays some control over it. The mixed register isn't the most consistent area for Karina, although she has shown to perform with promising skill there.
With my girls in the back, girls in the back, yeah.
얘가 좀 더 열리게.
Don't stop, 겁내지 마. Don't stop, 용기 내봐. Let's step myself. With them girls, with them girls, with them girls.
Her belts have a tendency to get tight and thin. The vowel shaping can be an issue for sure, the chesty mixing, as well as the nasality that obstructs the sound.
새로운 도전 끝에 너 too spicy. 변화할 시간이야 너. 지금 이 순간.
난 좋은 거 같아.
Heaven knows this one hell of power. Better hold on tight. Better hold on. 어리석고 날 약하기만 한 내 맘.
Reworking some of her belting habits, developing a much stronger upper register that as of now is mostly unexplored, further improving her vibrato and agility are some of the things that could help Karina reach the next level as a vocalist. It has taken the hiatus of Rami for YG to give Rora more to work with vocally, which is a shame. Well, pushing my personal feelings aside, immediately what stands about Rora and puts her this high in the ranking is the sheer support quality in her mixed register. The relation between the fold's closure and the controlled airflow gives Rora that natural roundness.
Now I finally found my wings. I let go of everything. Decided to follow my heart. 빛처럼 아름다워.
Thanks to a rather balanced mix, her belts carry a good amount of power without the unnecessary pushing. The control of vibrato, although still not as consistent as it could be, deserves a praise as well. Rora doesn't deal with any major intonation issues. Both her lower register and the surprising upper register have promising potential.
So far, I'm getting stronger, a little longer.
Weaknesses-wise, Rora is capable of executing some really nice belts. Absolutely. Yet her technique is still not totally reliable, as she runs into issues like tension or instability. Also, the fifth octave tends to be quite a struggle for her. The projection in her lower register could be stronger with a better placement. The upper register needs more work as well. It also would be great if Rora's vibrato could get even more balanced and controlled. Potential is a key word when it comes to Rora. It is genuinely difficult to evaluate her when it seems like there are so many areas she could explore and polish. Regardless, for a 17-year-old and the second youngest idol on this list, not too shabby. YG, for the love of everything that is holy, don't waste her. zrozumiano? Okay, so with love and respect, I would like to go a little hard on Sullyoon here, though not without a reason. Let me explain. Sullyoon's biggest strength, her most developed register. The most practiced and the most utilized one is her mixed register. It is also an area that sees continuous improvement. Although her mid belts, most notably in the 4th octave, could definitely be fuller, the placement and the mix she's been going for in the 5th octave often works like a charm for her. Even within a higher range, Sullyoon is actively looking for ways to minimize tension, and she's only been getting more and more consistent with time. If it came to the sheer belting skill alone, I would put her above the next person on the list. But I am trying to look at these idols from a wider, more holistic perspective, and Sullyoon at the moment is much more a sharp-edged vocalist over a well-rounded one. What I mean is that the development and control she displays in her mixed register greatly eclipse the other parts of her voice. Sullyoon's intonation is strong, to be fair. Her lower register isn't awful by any means.
Love me like this and I love you right back.
However, at this point in the ranking, it is rather average. The biggest weakness of hers is perhaps the neglected upper register. Neglected to the point where Sullyoon much more prefers to belt over using falsetto or head voice. Her use of vocal agility almost doesn't exist. The vibrato is either absent or it's poorly controlled. I believe taking more intentional care of some of the elements I've mentioned would be crucial for Sullyoon's growth as a vocalist. Winter's delivery features the precision and attention to detail very much characteristic of aespa's vocal line, as she's capable of expressing even small nuances with her voice.
그건데 박자가 따다다다다. Okay.
Which is a result of good intonation and dynamics control. Winter also brings the best controlled vibrato on this list so far, which is a great addition. The upper register isn't very well developed technically speaking, yet it can be quite relaxed and is also easily accessible for Winter. The lower register is rather average for soprano. Both the projection and placement could be improved significantly. The most controversial part of Winter's voice is by far her mixed register. Unfortunately, issues like raised larynx position, jaw tension, general tightness, and optimal vowel shaping are still quite prevalent.
Spicy.
Bring up.
A more lifted soft palate would definitely help to create more space and reduce the nasality. At her best, however, Winter is able to execute much more open and free belts, plus she's clearly been working on balancing out her mix better. She's also making an effort to go less heavy on higher belts, but haven't figured out the right coordination to do so effectively yet. As you can see, not without any room for improvement, Winter offers quite a lot from a vocal perspective. She is number 6 in this ranking, simply meaning that there are still stronger vocalists on the list. No, it's not a joke. I have been closely following the growth of Kyujin as a vocalist, and yes, I think she's that good, because she is. A good grasp of important basics, a considerable technical development across registers, along with her growing skill and agility, earn her this spot in the ranking. A strong, robust chest voice together with a forward placement gave Kyujin's lower register the character and projection lacking in vocalists below her. This robust quality continues through her mid-range to the mix register that has seen a significant improvement over time. Throughout the 4th octave, Kyujin has now on many occasions demonstrated the ability to belt with nice openness and a healthy balance.
That whole take is nice.
I must have called 1,000 times. At least I can say that I'll try to tell. Hey boy, show me how you shake it. Hey boy, show me how you. Hey boy, show me how you. 이젠 지쳐, give me some sugar. I can need a try. Oh yeah.
Those belts are not overpushed, they can be quite powerful, and they retain natural roundness thanks to a strong yet balanced mix. Kyujin's 5th octave has gotten stronger as she's learned how to lighten her mix and adjust her placement in order to minimize tension and heaviness. A valuable asset of Kyujin is the upper register. Not only is she very comfortable switching in and out of it, but also her head voice itself is fuller and better connected in comparison to previous vocalists. The freshest addition to Kyujin's vocal toolkit is the newfound use of agility. Vocal runs executed in more than one register are clean, quite precise, and have a pretty natural flow to them.
So let's ride to the front line. 갈 수 있는 가장 끝까지 너와 더 멀리.
The third, most well-rounded vocalist of NMIXX can do a lot with her voice, however still has room to grow, improving the control over her vibrato, further refining her vocal agility as well as the upper register, improving the consistency in her mix, and more. Regardless, Kyujin is a pretty brilliant example of a natural, steady, and satisfying vocal improvement. And she's also only 19 years old, so come on. At this rate, she is gonna get even better. I think you should know, my dear viewer, that I have been debating this particular spot in the video for not even days, but weeks. I have been very close to placing Rami over the next vocalist, and there is a high chance that I might have to do that in the future. What sets Rami apart from a lot of her peers? A couple things. 1. The lower register, a very safe, comfortable zone for Rami. The lower notes have a robust tonal quality, forward placement, and a healthy buzz to them.
네가 잠든 사이
Very rarely will you hear a female idol experiment with her lower register the way Rami does and have this much projection while doing so. There is only one vocalist here who truly rivals her in this category. 2. The use of vocal agility. So not only is Rami able to attempt quick riffs and runs with decent to good note separation and clarity,
Wake up, little child, energy. Relax, don't need more pieces. Relax, while I'm up, you can keep it wide. Don't forget to come back.
but she's also able to use this skill in a creative way, proving her overall musicianship. 3. The upper register, an extremely easily accessible part of Rami's voice that's utilized often.
Now I take the weight on me.
Despite Rami's head voice not being fully developed in terms of proper connection and support, the sheer consistency she's been displaying in this register is undeniable. Like sitting, standing in an interview, on stage, it truly doesn't matter for her. Rami belts with a chest-dominant mix, but she is able to maintain openness and a good amount of support despite pushing. Technically, things to work on include definitely the quality of vibrato and improving the consistency and balance in her mix register, because she has a tendency to get overly heavy. Rami has also yet to demonstrate a more advanced, intricate dynamics control. That said, I've no doubts that Rami, who's turning 18 years old this year by the way, deserves all of your attention and is someone to look out for. I personally wish her a lot of great rest and I wish to hear her again soon. So eventually, I consider Ningning as a more refined vocalist in general. Thanks to a well-coordinated voice, Ningning can navigate her registers well and is able to quite seamlessly switch between them.
와우.
Keep on moving with the system all upon and cruising. Ooh, and I was counting through so loud. Welcome to my heart inside. We're gonna get to become one. Just holding you forever.
Her delivery is precise, her phrasing is smooth and flowy. Ningning also displays some serious dynamics control. The vibrato is generally controlled, even, and has a healthy bounce to it. Technically speaking, perhaps the biggest strength of Ningning lies in her lower register, which is naturally projected and healthily placed.
Real bad business, that's dirty word. Real bad business, that's dirty word. Real bad business, that's dirty word. Sharp teeth.
Ningning can also access a relaxed, connected head voice and also presents promising skill in vocal agility. The mix register features a rather light, heady mix, which minimizes heavy pushing and excessive tension. So what the next level could be like for Ningning vocally? Firstly, a more balanced mix register would definitely be the way to go. Ningning's current approach, although not severely problematic, because of how early she opts for a headier mix and the use of a bright, twangy placement, ningning drastically loses power. This approach she has doesn't allow for much intensity or openness. The use of vocal agility is certainly promising, but should be developed more. The same applies to her head voice. Every time I evaluate ningning, I can easily find positive things to point out, yet ultimately, I can't help but think, man, I'm pretty sure there's even more she can do. For some reason, even after almost 5 years in the industry, I do get the feeling that she's oddly somewhat underutilized by her company. Is it just me? The second and the first spot were probably to be expected, so let's maybe not make it too long. Even at a young age, haewon presents a rather rich, mature, and rounded vocal toolkit. The strongest chest voice in this video, balanced by the proper dynamics control, gives haewon's mid-range decontrolled punch and lots of character.
Thought that I've been weak without you, but I'm stronger. Thought that I've been broke without you, but I'm richer. Thought that I'd be sad without you, I left harder.
haewon is predominantly a chesty belter who's not afraid of bringing a good amount of weight and power into her mix register. Although this approach does come with some risks and makes haewon more prone to inconsistency, she's shown to be skilled enough to be able to maintain her technique and deliver powerful, open, close to resonant belts.
이 바람을 빌려
이게 들어갔대.
Let's go 어디든 갈 수 없는데 nowhere go Don't wanna go home
Nice.
이 바람을 빌려 닿지 못할 거라서 이길 수 있도록 To live for God 라는 말 그대 한마디가 My only
Despite her usual preference for heavier belts, haewon can also intentionally lighten her mix as well, opting for a lighter, more effortless delivery, which signifies a solid amount of control she has in this register.
Baby, stand and deliver. Holy house, be to make me a sinner, and like a river.
Despite some inconsistencies, haewon's vibrato is generally stable, even, and healthily achieved.
Love is so lonely without you. 나를 숨겨 빛이 닿아줘. 그 마음은 비밀이. So let's ride to the front line.
The upper register sees some technical development as haewon is able to sing in a connected, decently supported head voice.
나를 향해 겹친 love. 결국 나를 향한 love. 원할 거야. No need to worry. So you get things I feel when she's with you. So you get things I feel.
The use of vocal agility is promising. haewon's pitch accuracy is solid, but the overall precision, flow, and clarity need more work.
Let's run. Can I stop flower? I sit for hours. Tell them all the bluebirds, the feeling cool birds. Pretty little baby, I'm so in love with.
Naturally, there is more room for improvement, working on her mixed register to minimize pushing and fatigue, developing the upper register more, gaining even more control over her vibrato, strengthening the lower register, would be some of the ways for haewon to become a vocalist of an even higher caliber. However, many idols do not reach the level that haewon is at the age of 22. Now, the number one spot. And yeah, no one is surprised. Lily embodies many of the traits of a great vocalist. An excellent intonation, well-connected registers, the understanding of dynamics, the presence of vibrato, musical creativity, and more.
To the front line. 갈수 있는 가장 끝까지. 누굴 just get hard like this. I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dreamed it hard, we came so far now. I believe.
A great asset of Lily, and one that deserves more attention, is the best technically developed head voice on this list. Easily accessible, connected, full, and supported. Of course, Lily is known for her extensive mixed register. Her consistently forward, strong mask placement comes in extremely handy in the upper belting range. But truly, no matter the range, it seems like Lily is always trying to perform as healthily as she possibly can in the given moment. Lily's mid-belts, though not quite as powerful as haewon's, can still be clearly executed with solid support and openness. An area that not only features an adequate amount of skill, but is also improving with time, is the vocal agility. Lily possesses a rather nimble voice and is getting better and better at executing agile riffs and runs.
All I want for Christmas is... Oh wait, no.
Well, even a vocalist with her voice as figured out as Lily can still find areas to improve. The lower register could become stronger. The mixed register requires continuous work as well as the vocal agility. Lily's vibrato could be more consistent. Having said all that, let's not get it twisted. Miss Lily is a standout vocalist of her generation. I am also certain that with the kind of passion, dedication, and determination she has for the art of singing, there is a bright future ahead of her. Oh my god. That is it. That's the ranking. That's the video. All that left for me to say is, I hope you enjoyed it. Please, you gotta let me know what you think about all this. Hopefully, the comment section won't get too brutal, but hey, it's fine. That's how I roll. This has been my longest video so far. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next one, whenever that will be. For now, bye guys.